There has been a destructive force unleashed on this town such as I have never seen.
Oh my god, I don't believe this. This is not happening!
We have got a poltergeist!
Okay, well, folks, I can do a clearance, but it's not going to be cheap. Although I do offer a 6-month guarantee.
Hello, welcome back. Jess Flicks with Jesse. Once again, we're going to do a little bit more of my Jesse's Lost Gold series here, delving into kind of, I won't say forgotten movies, but movies that over time maybe have been kind of lost in the shuffle of things. Today we're doing a great one. I've been looking forward to getting to this one for a while now, and that is the Frighteners from 1996. Peter Jackson directed this well before, of course, he did The Lord of the Rings and King Kong and everything. Huge. And I actually believe, from what I've read, this was kind of him as his way to prove that he could make an effects-heavy movie. Like he was building towards Lord of the Rings, like his passion project. And it's a great flick. We got, Michael J. Fox, and I believe this is like his last, I think it was his last feature film role, or at least it was the one, I believe, because they were filming in New Zealand, of course, that he was tired of being away from his family, and stuff like that, and was wearing on him. I don't know to what extent, his illness had taken, where he was at with that at this point. I don't know if that really weighed into it as much, but I know he was just tired of being away. And that's when he decided to, I think, go back to working on TV, Spin City, which is a very funny show. But this was like that turning point for him. And he does a great job in this flick. I'm a huge Michael J. Fox fan. I always have been, always will be. Truly heartbreaking, everything with him, of course. But he's a great guy, great attitude, done some just wonderful stuff in the past. Of course, the Back to the Future stuff, Teen Wolf, of course, was that Casualties of War. That was a really kind of dark role. Well, not dark role, but dark movie and stuff. He's done some good stuff. He's done a lot of good stuff, a lot of great stuff. So he's the lead, Frank Bannister, who is essentially a one-man, Ghostbusters. He's a paranormal investigator, con man, kind of, because he's not entirely a con man. He actually is able to communicate with ghosts, but he has a couple of ghosts under his employ that he works with to haunt people so he can go, exorcise them, basically. Kind of a shady, dirty character. It's pretty funny. Again, it's very much a comedy. Some of the winning points for me, this flick, is just the tone, I think, is great, because it's very funny, but it still takes itself seriously. It's still kind of, serious enough. It's very direct in itself, what kind of, what it is. But the setting, the tone, the atmosphere of the movie, it's just great. It's really cool. He's again, like a paranormal investigator, con man kind of guy, but people start, turning up dead from mysterious circumstances.
I've seen a figure in a cape.
That was the soul collector.
Throughout this town that he lives in. And eventually at some point, he becomes kind of a suspect because he's got a dark past. Stuff's happened in his past, and there's questions about him.
Everyone says that you're a fraud, but I've seen what you can do.
And then questions about the way people are dying and things like that. So he kind of has to be the one to figure it out and stop this malevolent force that's kind of running rampant in the town. And it's super cool. There's going to be some spoilerish stuff in this. This movie's been out for 27 years now, I guess, right? I think my math's right on that. So, if you haven't seen it, I apologize. Probably stop, watch it, come back. Watch it. Definitely watch it. I'm going to go ahead and jump ahead to my conclusion. Watch the movie if you haven't already. It's a great flick. Very enjoyable movie. This is one that weirds me out. It got an R rating. And I guess I can kind of see some of why. There's no real bad foul language. There's the violence, for the most part, is very muted. and cartoonish for the most part in a lot of ways. But I mean, there's some stuff, I guess, that may be kind of disturbing, but I mean, again, it's nothing you wouldn't see on TV or something today, like none of it. But yeah, it's a great flick. It's one that I would say, you know, is good for, I would say, young adults, teenagers, even some kids probably can hang with this. This is not particularly a gnarly movie by any means. It's a very enjoyable movie. I put this up there in like the category of things, and forgive me when I say like Goonies or Lost Boys or The Burbs. These are movies that I like, just they're comfort movies to me. They always have this like kind of somewhat creepy undertone. Goonies maybe not so much, but you know, they have this great vibe to them, and they're still very, in the end, they end up being quite lighthearted, quite, you know, I don't want to say cute, but just really enjoyable movies. And, you know, they're going to leave you in a good mood when it's over. And that's where I would chalk this one up. You have a great supporting cast. John Aston, the original Gomez, is in this, and he plays an old hanging judge, ghost. He's a cowboy. Really cool effects on him as well. Like, he's deteriorated in his midsection, so it's just like a spine holding his top and bottom part together. And apparently, one of the stories I'd read was that Michael J. Fox kept calling him Doc on set. Like, kept screwing up takes by saying Doc instead of Judge. This little Back to the Future stuff, because they were kind of similar in a way, probably the way they looked. Jeffrey Combs, who's, you know, if you're in the horror community especially, this guy has put his mark on that for quite some time. The Reanimator series, of course, Castle Freak. I mean, God, the dude's been in so much stuff. You know, you see him, you know who he is. I'm just naming off the first couple off my head, top of my head. Jake Busey, Gary Busey's son, of course, just hamming the shit out of this role that he has in this movie. He's the like one of the villains, really. There's a couple, but he's kind of the main one, I guess. And he's this, you know, serial killer or mass murderer who's come back. But he kind of comes back. It's cool because he's got like the form of the Grim Reaper, but he's able to kind of change back to like his self as a ghost too. It's a really cool touch because you got like this literal ghostly Grim Reaper flying around and like crushing people's hearts in their chest, and so it looks like a heart attack. But he hams it up. He's just like his dad. He's fantastic. He's over the top. He's creepy. He plays the part well. He's done some good stuff also. Obviously, the guy's been around for a minute and done some really cool stuff. This is the first thing I really do remember seeing him in, though. I think he was in Contact around the same time. Maybe it was a year later, but I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure he was in that, though. And then Dee Wallace, of course. Every 80s kid's surrogate mother from the movies, the mom from E.T., and you know, she's been in everything. The Howling. I think I've already brought her up before on the show on a different. I think it was Critters, actually. Yeah, we were talking about Critters just a couple of videos ago. Playing the mother again, right? Well, she's playing a quite different role in this one. She's a much more dark role, much more psychotic. Very cool though. The story itself is, it's simple, but it's fun. It's actually, it's not unoriginal by any means. It's very cool. There's some twists and turns. It just has a lot of fun with all the ghost stuff though. Like Frank sees the ghost and nobody else does, so he's constantly kind of talking to people and arguing with people that aren't there, of course, so he looks crazy.
What is happening to me?
And but they're the ones that help him, and he, you know, to kind of solve what's going on. And yeah, man. So anyway, I'm doing the whole recap. I try not to do that too much, but very cool flick. Very fun. Special effects are fantastic, especially by 96 standards. This is still pretty early in the CG era, and they do some really cool stuff. It's not perfect, of course, when you look at it today. Be forgiving, be understanding. It's not bad by any means, but again, it's Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson, I think up to this point, had only made a couple of things. I know he did that really crazy, was it Bad Taste, which I actually haven't watched. I've seen clips and stuff, and really, to be honest, not too interested in watching it. And Heavenly Creatures, which I also haven't watched, but that one apparently got some pretty good, you know, critical acclaim and stuff, and really helped boost his career. And I think this one, which Robert Zemeckis was a producer on, who, you know, Robert Zemeckis is, we got Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and I'm trying to think at that time what else he'd done. He'd done so much stuff. He was part of Back to the Future, of course. He was also, I think, a big part of Tales from the Crypt, which this, I think, was originally going to be a Tales from the Crypt movie. I think they'd only done Demon Knight at this point, and I don't know if they'd done Bordello of Blood yet, but this was one that was going to be a Tales from the Crypt movie. And it ended up being its own thing, which I think probably worked best for it. They probably schlocked it up a bit more if it was a Tales from the Crypt movie. And I don't mind that, but I think this movie works on its own better. Who knows what we would have gotten with that. It could have been cool. But, so that's a really interesting kind of sidebar there, too, that it was kind of conceived or at least kind of developed that way, I think, at some point. So, anyway, before I ramble on too much, just want to say, yes, definitely check out The Frighteners. If you haven't seen it, for a movie as old as it is, it's very cool. Holds up. There's a big heart to it. It's a surprisingly sweet story at its core, but it's also a lot of fun. It takes itself serious enough. I know I said it took itself serious earlier. It takes itself serious enough. It's not super tongue-in-cheek by any means, but it's funny in a natural way. Like the interactions are funny and stuff like that. There's some kind of goofy stuff with the ghost and whatnot, but again, they're just having fun. But there's also a lot of really dark stuff in it, and I think that it doesn't shy away from that. It doesn't overdo it, and it doesn't go too far with anything. But yeah, if you have not seen this movie, highly recommend it. If you have seen it, please let me know what you think down below. If you agree with me, disagree, if I screwed up any of the facts or points. I'm kind of breezing through it, but I'm not trying to, as much as I did kind of break down the whole movie, I'm not trying to break down the whole movie. I didn't ruin the ending. I did not ruin the ending, and I didn't ruin some of the twists. So it's still, I'm probably gonna watch it again before the month is over. I'll watch this movie often. I love it. It's one of those ones, if I'm having a bad day, I can put on, and something about it just, it's comforting, and it's a fun movie. It's well made, well acted, cool story, cool effects, great atmosphere. I meant to check because I was almost positive I'm going to say it, and I could be wrong. Pretty sure Danny Elfman does the score as well. So, of course, if you got Danny Elfman doing the score for something, if it's not him, somebody ripped him off hard. But I'm almost positive Danny Elfman did it. So, anyway, thank you for watching, guys. This is a must-watch. I will get back to the Critters series as we begin the slow decline on that one. 3's not that horrible, I guess. It could be worse. I don't know how far I'm going to go. 3 and 4 were made together. Maybe I should do both of them. But anyway, I will get back to that. If you guys have any other Lost Gold you want me to check out or bring up, I've hopefully seen. If not, if it's worth it, I'll check it out. But anyway, until next time, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think. Please like, share, comment down below, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.